So this video is all about the left hand. We're going to start by talking about the numbers associated with our fingers, and then we're going to talk about how to get our left hand from up against the violin into first position and what our wrist shape should look like. So to begin with, we need to talk about which number is associated with which finger. And in violin, our thumb never actually sits on a string. It's more like a guide. It sits on the other side of the neck, making sure that everybody's hanging out and having a good time. Okay? It doesn't come up, doesn't come under. And I'll show you more about that when I pick up my violin. Then we have finger number 1, which is your first finger. Middle finger is finger number 2. Ring finger is finger number 3. And pinky finger is finger number 4. So if you see numbers above your notes in your sheet music, you know that if it says 1, you put your first finger on that note. You know that if it says 2, you put your middle finger. You know if it says 3, put your ring finger. And you know if it says 4, you put your pinky. Okay? So now I want you to pick up your violin, and we're going to move all the way out to first position. Okay? So I hold my violin out, turn it over, put the button in my ear. I listen as my violin begs me to practice, and then I drop my violin down my neck onto my shoulder, and I put my chin on the chin rest. From here, see where my hand is? I'm going to open my fingers up towards the sky, and I'm going to move my hand out as if I have a mirror on my palm that I want to check my hair with. Okay? So if I bring it back in, and I move it back out, you can do this a couple times. And the shape of your wrist shouldn't change very much. Sometimes what happens is we do this. And if my wrist is like this, I have a hard time seeing my mirror. And sometimes my wrist goes like this. And some teachers call this pancake hand or serving pizza, like you have a tray in your hand with a big pizza on it. But we want to make sure that our wrist is totally straight, as if we're trying to see a mirror right here. From here, I'm going to work on putting my first finger down. I don't have tapes, but your first finger is going to go on the tape closest to your scroll. So it bends around, you can see it there. My second finger goes on the next tape. My third finger goes on the tape right next to that. And if you're lucky enough to have a fourth finger tape at this point, it goes all the way out here. So you'll notice my wrist stays the same. It doesn't do this, and it doesn't do this. Stays exactly straight, as if there's a straight line from my knuckles all the way to my elbow. Okay? And if you look on the other side, you can see my thumb is just hanging out, just on the other side. I can tap it over, I can tap it back, over and back. Sometimes if I'm really fancy, I can slide it up and down. He just hangs out. Okay? So we're going to do this one more time. So I go back to rest position. I hold my violin out, I turn it over, take the button, I put it in my ear, and I listen for the secret. Then I slide it down my neck, chin on the chin rest, and from here I raise my fingers up towards the sky, and I take my mirror out to first position where I can see my face. Then I can put my first finger down on the tape closest to the scroll, then my second finger, then my third, and for right now, let's just let our fourth finger hover. So my fourth finger is hovering right next to where my third finger is. And then you can release, come back, hold your violin neck, and go back to rest position. And that's your left hand.